All right, we're 6.5. Classify forms of political participation into two broad types. The terms are a big deal with this, so as long as you know the terms, I think you'll get the biggest part of 6.5. Political participation, and this is all the ways that we are involved in politics. And at the bottom of 203, it talks about how the U.S. has a culture that values political participation, and 80% of Americans say they are proud of how democracy works in the United States, but 59% voted in the presidential election of 2012, and only about 36% turn out in the midterm elections. So people are saying that they're proud of it, but they're not willing to get out there and vote or fight for it, for the most part, unless they're wanting to complain about something. Then they got participation, conventional and unconventional. Know the difference between the two, and those are not terms, I don't think, but you do need to know the difference between the two. And what a test question would be, what is voting? And it's a conventional type of participation, and that includes voting, trying to persuade others, ringing doorbells, running for office, and so on. Unconventional participation includes activities such as more dramatic, such as protesting, civil disobedience, and even violence. So know the difference between conventional and unconventional. Protest is a term. It's a form of political participation designed to achieve policy change through dramatic and unconventional tactics. And the media is willing to cover these because people want to watch it. You think about if the media hadn't covered the national anthem during the protest, nobody probably would have cared, honestly. It was like, okay, he's kneeling, okay, let's move on. But because there was such a media outcry from both sides, it's like, ooh, well, this is a big deal. So we just kept hearing about it and hearing about it and hearing about it, and we're still hearing about it. That was a form of protest. Was that conventional or unconventional? Think about it. All right, civil disobedience is a form of protest. And that's when people consciously break the law to bring awareness, blocking a road during the 50s and 60s in the civil rights movement. It was against the law to block the road, but they did it knowing that it was going to bring awareness, and it certainly did. We'll go over the America in Perspective on page 206. On page 207, it talks about class, inequality, and participation. I want you to read that, okay? And on the second paragraph, it says, to what extent does race affect participation? And read over that paragraph. And we'll probably go over it in class too. And we talked about the census today in class and how the people who need it the most are the ones that are less likely to participate in it. All right, so that's 6.5. Make sure you got the terms. It's not that bad.